Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a quick look at Nvidia and some products that can drive their stock price to new levels. And it's pretty funny. Obviously, I said drive to kind of hint of where I'm going with this episode. We're going to talk about Nvidia's drive solutions and why this could be one of the biggest things in the upcoming years for this company. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for free Discord, free newsletter, and a lot of great investing links. So let's get started. So today is February 21st, 2022. Nvidia recently reported earnings, strong earnings, but unfortunately there is a lot of uncertainty with global tensions that has really caused stock prices to drop. And if you want to learn more about Nvidia's earnings, I have done previous videos on that. Today we're really going to focus on Nvidia Drive and all these solutions. Nvidia has numerous names for these drive solutions that can get very confusing. So I decided to kind of create this kind of pretty cool PowerPoint on it. But I just want to show how management is currently thinking about Nvidia's drive solutions. So first, we can see from their press release, they mentioned that they are entering the new year with strong momentum across our business and excellent traction with our new software business models with Nvidia AI, Nvidia Omniverse, and Nvidia Drive. So management seems to be very excited about how strong Nvidia Drive can be in the upcoming years. And if we take a quick look at the transcript from their earnings call, we can see during the Q&A section, Orin, which is one of the autonomous solutions we're going to talk about, is mentioned numerous times. For example, Jensen, the CEO, mentioned that Orin, and as we mentioned earlier, it's going to drive an inflection point starting in Q2, but accelerating through Q3 and the several years after we ramp it into all of the electric cars and all of the robotic applications and robotaxis and such. So we're gonna take a quick look at these autonomous solutions, and obviously we only think about it in the main case, which is the EV vehicles, but this Orin solution, because it is for autonomous usage, it can be used for numerous other products. Another point I want to mention is here during the earnings call, one of the analysts asked a question about how Nvidia is kind of increasing their inventory purchases obligations. And again, Jensen mentioned that Orin was a big player. As mentioned, Orin ramping into autonomous vehicles is brand new. This is the inflection point for us growing into autonomous vehicles, and this is going to be a very large business for us going forward. So we can just kind of see right off the bat how management is feeling about these solutions. But what are these solutions? There's so much. There's Orin, there's Drive, there's Hyperion. Jose, can you explain them to us a little bit better? And that's what I'm here for. Let's take a listen to today's sponsor. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services The Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the Stock Advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. So I created this presentation. We're going to take a quick look at 3 things. First, the hardware solutions, then software solutions, then infrastructure solutions, and actually 4 things. I guess I can't count some of the recent news affecting Nvidia Drive. So let's start off with hardware solutions. So Nvidia, like I mentioned, offers numerous solutions across the board. The first one and the main one is Nvidia's Drive Orin, and this is the chip we see right here. This is called the system on chip and is based on Nvidia's most recent architecture, Ampere. This is the kind of architecture that's being used on their graphics cards, and this allows for level 2+ to level 5 autonomous vehicle driving, depending how serious you go with it. The best way to think about Orin is the brain. This is the brain of the autonomous solutions for Nvidia. And this allows developers to build, scale, and leverage one development investment across an entire fleet. So let's say you are a car manufacturer, you can build everything on Orin and then just kind of rinse and repeat to make it all on your fleet. This isn't the first version. There have been previous versions. For example, there was Pegasus and Xavier, and they already announced the next generation going forward, and that's going to be Atlan. At the moment, Nvidia Drive Orin is the one that's currently being used. but it doesn't seem like it's being used in vehicles now, right? Let's say I am a car manufacturer. I'm purchasing Orin right now to be able to use on my next generation of vehicles. And usually the next generation of vehicles is going to come out in like 2024, 2025 during that time frame. Next, if we take a look, the second part of their hardware solutions is called Hyperion 8. So Hyperion 8 is pretty much a kind of off-the-shelf solution. So this is a production-ready platform for autonomous vehicles. So when you kind of buy Hyperion 8, you get a Drive Orin. So you get the brain, but you also get numerous sensors. You get about 12 exterior cameras, 3 interior cameras, 9 radars, 12 ultrasonics, and 1 front-facing LiDAR, plus 1 LiDAR for ground truth data collection. So like I mentioned, this is a full ready system. It's using the brain and all the other sensors that kind of NVIDIA has not created, but partner up to make a one-stop shop for autonomous vehicles. Next, we can take a quick look at their software solution. So here they start off with the basis. This is a software SDK. When you hear SDK, this is software development kit. The easiest way to think about it is a toolbox with different tools to use. And like a toolbox and different tools, each tool serves a purpose. So we're going to start off with the bottom line. The bottom line is, for example, Drive Hyperion Developer Kit. This was the hardware previously mentioned. So you start off with your hardware. Hey, this is the hardware we're using to kind of develop our autonomous vehicles. Then you go to your Drive OS. This is the operating system. Think of it as your Windows, the foundation you need to use your computer. Then you have the DriveWorks. This is the ability to transfer your information from your sensors into your programs, right? There's no point in having all these sensors with all these data if you are not able to kind of transfer that data to your programs, and that's where DriveWorks comes. Now NVIDIA has all these kind of informations. They have the hardware, they have the sensors, they have the data. So they have created some form of solutions. So here they have Drive AV and Drive IX. Here, for example, they have AI Copilot. You've probably seen this cute little guy in some of NVIDIA's kind of solutions. And here, for example, in AI Copilot, you can see they have things like cabin monitoring. So with all the sensors and all the collecting data, you can see, hey, what's the temperature inside of the car? And now with those kinds of sensors and NVIDIA's artificial intelligence solutions, you can now kind of make a tool like this Copilot, which can help maintain the temperature, help probably decrease, kind of bring down the overall windows, or do something within that a Copilot could do. Then they also have this other solution. This is probably my favorite solution, and this is called NVIDIA Drive Simulations. So this is a digital world created in NVIDIA's Omniverse that follows the rules of physics. And I think that's the most important part. It follows the rules of physics. And this allows the collection of artificial data to train your autonomous vehicle algorithm. So for example, right now, for you to kind of get all this information about how a vehicle drives and what to do during certain situations, that vehicle needs to be out there in the road collecting data. But now with NVIDIA's Drive Simulation, you can kind of bring that to a digital world. Obviously, it can make things a lot more safer. It can be cheaper because you don't have to build numerous vehicles to kind of work on it. And it like I mentioned, it allows the collection of artificial data. This allows also the validation of events that rarely happen or cannot be tested. For example, what should your autonomous vehicle do if, let's say, a meteorite falls into Earth? This might be an extreme case, but it's the only one that came into my mind. What if it falls in front of the road? You kind of get that aerial kind of projection coming down into the road, and your sensors pick that up. Unfortunately, something like that is very, very hard to kind of test out in real life or to validate what your vehicle would do. So here you can kind of create that kind of event in NVIDIA Drive and see that, hey, my vehicle will perform as intended. Obviously, that was a crazy situation I just gave, but it's just one of the ways that, hey, now they can kind of validate events that rarely happen. I also do believe this is a game changer, in my opinion, for late starters. Obviously, one of the first early ons in autonomous drivings has a lot of data information, right? They have a lot of vehicles on the road and they're collecting plenty of data. But let's say you're an automobile company that has big bucks and that has a big wallet. You can just kind of build numerous artificial worlds numerous artificial vehicles, and now you can probably catch up in digital data where some of these early winners were. So it's a game changer in my opinion for the late starters because you're able to collect all this data. Now let's take a quick look at the infrastructure. So NVIDIA has numerous infrastructure solutions as well. To train your autonomous vehicle, you need strong computational power. You need servers, you need workstations, you need a lot of graphics cards, you need a lot of processing power. A company can either buy NVIDIA's pre-built servers through some other OEMs. Unfortunately, this could get expensive. Some of these servers can cost over hundreds, even tens of millions of dollars. And like I mentioned, pretty expensive. A company can also rent out servers, some as cheap as $90,000 a month. Obviously, for you and I, that probably sounds like a lot of money. For a company that, hey, I don't want to spend $15-20 million on building a server. I'd rather just pay on a monthly basis. That's a great solution. And this is where all this comes together. NVIDIA has created what they call NVIDIA Drive Constellation. And this is one of my favorite infrastructure solutions. So let's say you're a company that has no cars. You have no data, no problem. You can buy two of these kind of NVIDIA servers and they run side by side. One of them could run the digital world, then the Omniverse. Again, that digital world is running true physics. It's running numerous kind of vehicles and things at once that it needs strong computational power. Then the other one runs a digital autonomous vehicle car and starts collecting that data and processing that data. So imagine a software company that has no vehicles in sight can start creating autonomous vehicle solutions without even having a real car, because NVIDIA's drive solutions like the NVIDIA Drive Constellations can help out with that. So if this is the technology the world's going to go in the future, this is going to be a huge driving force for NVIDIA. And like I mentioned, right now we're only thinking about it in the autonomous vehicles. But what happens when we need more robots in, for example, distribution sensors? What if we need to kind of improve the autonomous or AI of robots in high industrial kind of careers like skyscraper building or maybe car production or anything, right? Anything. What happens for when we get smart trains, for example, smart trucks, maybe smart planes, for drones, robo-taxis, the list can go on and on solutions where autonomous, it needs to continue to grow. And again, this is not something that's going to happen overnight, right? this autonomous world is not going to happen in the next quarter. It's not going to happen next year. But I do believe if we kind of take a look in long-term mentality, it gives NVIDIA the optionality that this could be a strong revenue driver in the future. So a great way to kind of put this all together is to see this partnership that Jaguar Land Rover has with NVIDIA that was recently announced on February 16th. So starting in 2025, all new Jaguars and Land Rover vehicles will be built on NVIDIA's Drive software-defined platform. But not only that, they're going to be using the full stack solutions. So remember, we talked about NVIDIA Drive Hyperion. That was the full equipped sensor. It came with the brain and the sensors. It was the pretty much full equipped product. So Jaguar is going to be using Drive Hyperion 8, which comes with the brain of NVIDIA, the Drive Orin. Then they're also going to use the software solutions, for example, Drive AV and Drive IX. These are the software solutions NVIDIA has created. But not only that, Jaguar is also going to be using NVIDIA's infrastructure solutions. They're going to use NVIDIA's DGX, the super servers, to train their AI models. They're going to be using Drive simulations, that software, and NVIDIA's NVIDIA's Omniverse to kind of build everything together. So all the solutions that we just talked about, Jaguar and Land Rover is going to be using it for what seems for all their new Jaguar and Land Rover vehicles starting in 2025. Also, if you want to learn a little bit more, during their earnings press release, they have the autonomous and robotics section. They talk a little bit about it. Obviously, in the short term, because of car production, this segment is not doing strong. Again, I do believe this is more of a kind of market timing thing. In the future, autonomous vehicle is going to be a huge driver. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope you guys learned something. And if you did, make sure to hit the thumbs up and let me know on the comments. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.